What's up, folks? Welcome to 𝗬𝗏𝗠𝗃𝗏. I'm joined with Paul Begley, Pastor Paul Begley. Are you serious? You're that guy. You'll always be that guy to me.
I'm not the Shama guy, okay? I'm the Are You Serious guy, right?
That's how you came to fame. Uh,
Yeah, that's true.
but you're also the author of Revelation 911. Uh, I asked you before we went live, does that have anything to do with 9/11? What happened on 9/11? You said yes, it has. It's in the book. I really want to get your perspective and outlook on the situation we're in right now with Trump, Elon Musk, the whole Biden administration for the past 4 years. How is this lining up with prophecy? I'm just trying to keep everyone's eyes and ears open, keep their minds open to what could possibly be playing out here. First of all, Paul, thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome. Thank you, David. It's an honor to be on your show. It really is.
Yeah, I try to have as many different perspectives and outlooks as I can on everything. I'm trying to look at the whole chess game being played right now, and I just can't help but think sometimes when things are just too good to be true, maybe they are. And now I want to make a disclaimer here to my audience. I'm not against Trump. I'm not turning on Trump. I'm just saying this is a spiritual war, and we need to understand it's being played at a spiritual level, in a different realm. And all I'm saying is let's just be cognitive of that and have our awareness about us. Do you agree with me, Paul?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's actually the right approach. You can't just go blindly into something and say, you know what, rah, rah, rah. Everything's going to be perfect now. We're going to walk on this golden brick road. There is situations happening, as you know, Nino, that look, anybody who becomes president of the United States is going to have a host of counselors. And some people are going to come at him with all kinds of different perspectives, some good, some bad. He has to figure out a way how to sort it out. And you may not know. I mean, you may not exactly know which way to turn. That happened to him in his first administration. I think that Fauci and the crew came in and just waylaid him.
Yeah.
Okay. And so it could happen again. So we have to just watch and discern, I think.
All right,
That's
folks, get your collagen before I start here. The reason behind wrinkles isn't always in our control. It's more than about reducing stress or eating healthy diet. As we age, our body's natural collagen production declines, which leads to visible signs of aging like wrinkles and sagging skin. In fact, studies show that after the age of 20, collagen production decreases at about 1% a year. That's why I use this amazing product and I'm obsessed with the results, folks. It's a premium supplement designed to replenish your body's collagen levels and combat the effects of aging. This unique formula uses the top five important types of collagen of skin health to help reduce visible signs of aging, reduce wrinkles, promote a youthful glow, promote healthy skin, elasticity, and promote skin hydration. Look your best with ageless multi-collagen and place your order while it's 51% off now. Only at Health with Nino. Plus, you'll receive a free VIP live health and fitness coaching for life, a free ebook titled The 14 Foods for Amazing Skin, and a 60-day satisfaction guarantee for free shipping and free shipping if you order now. Once again, this is available at the link below, folks. Health with Nino. All right, Paul, let's get into this. I just
all
had a
right.
guy on, Jeff Shepard, talking about what he perceives, all he sees that's happening right now, and is the light, it's like the Masonic checkered board. It's the black and white. They own both sides of the board, and they're basically handing the keys off from the dark to the light into where everyone will embrace this new system. And you know, I'm totally behind Trump, man. I
Right.
just love what he's doing, and I feel like he's a good man, and I
Right.
want to put that out there. But there's people around him I'm just leery about. Am I right in feeling that way?
No, it's cautious. You're being very cautious. I'm with you. I'm 100% President Trump. I'm behind him all the way. But I do realize that not every advisor has his best interests or our best interests at heart. Now, also, I'll say that there could be some advisors who do have Trump's best interests at heart, but may not know, may believe in what they're saying is the best path, but it may not be. It could be better. So, and then there could be those planted among him that are there to sabotage or to actually bring more harm to America than what we've seen. So it's always like this. You got to look at it. You got to watch what people say and do, and you got to see how it plays out. I think Trump, though, is a very wise man. I will say at the end of the day, we've seen him last time when he was president. He fired people left and right. He hired them. People, he was the mad dog, and then boom, mad dog was the scathing dog rolling out there. So yeah, I mean, it's okay to be cautious. I'm cautious with you. I really am.
I see everything that's playing out right now, and I see this stuff going on with Iran now, and the Houthis, and now he's saying, okay, if they fire another missile or shoot another gun at us, we're going after you, Iran. Well, hold on, wait a minute, wait a second. I thought we were stopping World War III. Okay, I understand. I'm a little confused right now. I mean, I'm just a little confused. Wait a second here. I thought we were going to stop all that. But now he's saying if they shoot off another firework at us, we're going after Iran.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
What's going on here? Can you?
Well, I think, yeah, that's a great question. Trump has said many times, I hate wars. I want to end all wars. I don't want wars. And he thought he could end Russia-Ukraine war in 15 minutes. And he finding out how complicated that is. And then now the Houthi thing. I know that Trump sent a personal letter last week, handwritten, delivered to the Ayatollah. I don't know what it said. No one's disclosed what it said. But we know that the Ayatollah came out and just kind of backhanded him. Okay, so whatever it was, might have been one of those Trump, here's the olive branch, but I got a hammer. Or maybe he led with the hammer and here's the olive branch. I'm not sure. But I'm with you. Let's not just make a blanket decision that, hey, they shoot at us again or shoot at one of the ships in the Red Sea, that we're just coming after you. We got to figure out a way. I know Trump sometimes does that. He'll say something like that, but then he generally backs off and then says, look, there's got to be a deal here. But I really don't want to see us get any deeper into Middle East wars or any wars for that matter. I'm with you on that. We don't need it.
No, and then everything that's coming out right now that a lot of conspiracy theorists have been talking about for the longest time, like Biden, is now coming to be true. Like the White House, I mean, they're finding out that was a set.
Yeah.
They're also finding out that everything done. We have found out that everything has been done with auto pen, which we've been talking about. Now, are we going to find out? And I have to be careful here because it's this fluff too. But was that even Biden? And I'm just going to ask a question like that.
Oh man.
And then obviously his pardons, since they were done with auto pen, are void. So now they're all in deep, deep, deep crap. And wondering now, obviously, this is going to lead to arrests. And people are going to be very happy about that. But, you tend to think he still has a lot of bad people around him, a lot of, in my opinion, in sheep's clothing. So,
yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
Well, let's talk about the docu signing. I mean, as you said, I mean, that's the most craziest thing I've ever heard of, that he never signed a document the last 6 or 8 months of his presidency. I mean, the only thing you do as president, you don't pass laws. You sign. You just sign. Okay.
But isn't it crazy that we were able to get him with that? Oh, you did it by auto pen? It's void.
It's void. And think about all the people he pardoned. I mean, he pardoned people in case they did commit a crime, or like Maxine
I thought that goes against a pardon.
How do you pardon someone ahead of before they commit a crime? That's like Minority Report. Remember that movie that came out?
Crimes.
And you even got Maxine Waters running around saying, we got to find out. We don't even know what they got on us. Well, that's not good. So this is scary. I mean, to me, he was an absentee president. Now we find out that he had the White House set up to look like he was at the White House. It's one thing if you set up a set to look like you got a presidential and people know you're off site, but you're still wanting to project the presidency. I'm all right with that. But when you don't tell the people that you're in the basement in Delaware and they think you're in the White House, the light's on, but this is the truth, there's nobody home. And there hasn't been in a long time. So now we're wondering, legally, do all these pardons get revoked? Do people get arrested? Does 𝗀𝗃 𝗏𝗯 go roaring in? I mean, what's going to happen? It's
I've said for a long
crazy.
time that he's gonna have right when he won the election. We're gonna have the high ground, right? He's got to work fast. To me, it's just like a championship fight or two fighters fighting, and then once you drop that guy, the guy gets knocked down, and he gets back up. You got to jump on him and finish him and take him to
Right.
the fight. The great fighters knew how to do that, the killer instinct, and I think that's what Trump is doing right now. He's moving really fast, really, really fast. And I think their heads are still bobbling, like they can't believe they're in shell shock,
Yeah.
and he's going in for the kill right now. Do you see it the same way? I mean,
Yes.
he has
Oh,
to
yeah.
work really fast.
Yes, you being a professional boxer, you know exactly how this is. They're not doing the rope-a-dope thing. Okay. I mean, no, 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 no. They've been knocked down like 3 times. They're staggering. The refs trying to give them the 8 count. The corner's screaming. The towel's been tossed. I mean, and they're still trying to figure out a way. And he is hitting them. He's using every agency and everyone he chose, his cabinet, and they're all going at it 100 miles an hour. Now, a lot of this stuff they're disclosing, like in Doge, I mean, I'm stunned the
Yeah.
stuff we were spending money on. I mean, whatever that is in Zambia and places all over the world, and their money is just being spent on craziness. But at the same time, you don't want to, you just can't go in there and knock people out before the bell rings. So hold on a minute, because it's even can be too fast for the American people. They want it, but they start getting nervous too. Like, oh no, what's next? Muhammad Ali, he was the cautious one. He stood in the corner, he let you punch yourself out, and then he took you down.
Yeah.
Those great fights. Trump is not a fighter like that. He's a Mike Tyson kind of guy. He just
Yeah.
goes in and just waylays. But I'm with you on this, that there's not everybody's got his best interest. So you have to be careful, slow down a minute, see what's going on, and then take care of business. But if I'm the Democrat right now, the Democrats don't even know who's in charge of their party. They don't even know. AOC might be leading the Democrat Party. They're in a state of chaos and turmoil, and they're
And
running,
if
and
that's their best bet, they're in a really bad.
they're in a lot of trouble, man. They are in trouble, and I don't know where. So let's pray. I mean, I do this all the time. President Trump, I pray for him that he will, and all the voices that are in his head, that he is able to discern makes sense and what isn't, and that he put the brakes on the areas. He did finally tell Elon Musk. He said, "Listen, you're not firing anybody. I need you to figure out what's going on, but you don't have the authority to fire anybody." And that was good. That was good. He said that, because Musk's job is with Doge is to uncover the abuse and the waste, but not to start making executive decisions who stays and who goes.
That's
So
Trump's.
that's Trump's job. Yeah.
So he's basically putting his foot down.
Yes. Slowing it down just a little. Take a little off because he's the guy who's taking the heat. At the end of the day, Trump's the guy. But and President Trump's whole purpose and goal in this 4 years is to make America great again. Truly, he wants that. He wants to leave America in the best position it's ever been in the last 50, 60 years, maybe all the way back to Lincoln. He's trying to set us up to where no matter who goes in next, can't really screw it up. They can be absentee if they, but can you do that? Is there a way to? This is a two-party system. There's corruption on both sides. I mean, can you really do that? I don't know.
I'm wondering that, with everything being exposed right now, which is happening at rapid fire. It's like drinking out of a fire hose, seriously, especially when you're on X. Every time I check X, there's something new every second. I'm wondering that, could it be possible he could serve a third term when everything gets found out, like what really happened? And we got to be careful here, but like what really happened in 2020, if maybe he can serve a third term.
Oh man, I've been secretly sitting in the corner and
He'll be
whining.
in his 80s.
I know it's okay. At 80, he can outwork people in their 40s. This guy works 20 hours a day and plays golf and ever see his golf game, by the way? Not bad.
It's not
I don't,
bad. All
I don't
right.
think that can be. I'm serious. I'm serious. He's
You
good.
know, I don't watch golf, but I love like sports like tennis, and I just started watching basketball again. So maybe I'll start watching golf because I know in your older age that's the sport you got to play.
Well, yeah, trust me, okay. I went from the basketball days and baseball when I was younger to now golf. But I tell you what, there's a great video on YouTube if you ever get a chance to watch it. It's President Trump playing against Bryson DeChambeau. DeChambeau won the U.S. Open. I mean, this DeChambeau guy is incredible. They play 18 holes together, but they played a scramble where they were playing for money for charity. But in 3 holes, Trump beats them. Just flat beats them on 3 holes. And DeChambeau's going, this can't be. This is
Trump is that
embarrassing.
good?
Trump's good. I mean, they were playing on Trump's course, okay, and it was a short course. It wasn't, the long,
Yeah.
long. So, but he beat him three holes out of the 18, and DeChambeau just shaking his head, saying, "This is embarrassing. This
Yeah.
guy's 80 years old." But it's a great round because they're talking politics and talking celebrities, and they're just doing all kinds of stuff. But the bottom line is this: I think Trump could be the third term. Really, it wouldn't be 3 terms. You think about it; it'd only be 2. He did 1, and now he's back for 2 more. That's not 3 consecutive. There might be a little wiggle room there. Let's run that up the flagpole to the Supreme Court. I say let's run that up the flagpole. It might stick, and it would be great for America if we could.
You know, there's another thing I want to bring to my audience attention, and you probably already thought the same thing, but I've had a United States Secret Service, former Secret Service agent John Carmen on a few times, and he's talked about how basically the perimeters are being tested, and the Democrats are so desperate right now they could try to take him. I mean, they've already tried
Oh, yeah.
3 times, so they're going to try again to, I would imagine, to assassinate him. And just the other day, he's discussing something with the reporters, and a reporter, brushed his face with a microphone, and I'm thinking to myself, dude, if there was something on that microphone, he's a gone. Like
Right.
that's it. How are they getting so close? I mean, this guy should be
Yeah.
with everything that he's doing, with the Trump effect, the seismic shift that's occurring in the world right now. We cannot. That's a brush. That's not a brush with a microphone. That's a brush with death.
That is. That is. And they have look, this chemical warfare type things has been used in the KGB has done it, the CIA has done it. We've assassinated people. Look, we wondered there was 4 South American presidents or vice presidents that died. Presidents. At 4 months after he shook their hand, they got cancer and died. There was 4.
Really?
Yeah, including 𝗬𝗂𝗶𝗹 of Venezuela. So did he have some on his hands that was released on these people? 4 of them. That's kind of outrageous. So yeah, I'm with you. President of the United States does not need a brush with anything. No way. And it's a wonder the Secret Service didn't pounce on that guy.
Or were they? I mean, how are they?
That's what I'd like to know.
I would imagine they'd be there in front of him saying, "Step back, step back. Everyone, keep your distance." How
Yep.
are they just getting so comfortably close to him? And I know Trump likes to be, he's a personable guy. He likes to be in public. He likes to be seen. He likes to meet the people. That's just the way he is. But come on, it's got to stop now.
Yeah, it does. I'm with you. You can't trust. I mean, you cannot trust just because the people are in that press pool who you've seen every day at the White House and you think it's all cool. You don't know who's getting a hold of their equipment. You don't know who got a hold of the sponge on that microphone. You don't know who's doing what. So
And it looked very like it was intentional,
mm, mm,
right? When it didn't look like an accident. They kind
yeah,
of hit his face. Like
yeah.
you know your boundaries.
Yeah, that's no good. That's no good. Somebody's gonna have to deal with that, and they got to be careful with this. Dan Bongino was a former Secret Service agent, and he's been always concerned about what President Trump is dealing with on a day-to-day basis, and he should be, rightfully so. If there was anybody that was ever a target, I just recently interviewed Laura Eisenhower. Okay, she's the great granddaughter of Dwight D. Eisenhower, and we were talking about security. And she said, look, the Eisenhower family, the Kennedy family, and the Trump family, we're not we're not in the inner circle. You have to understand, we're on the outside. None of us have ever been part of the deep state or what you would call that inner circle. And she said, I worried all the time about what might happen to President Trump, because there's more than just the enemies out externally out there. They're internally big time. And so we really do have to be careful. I'm with you on that. I would really like to see the security around Trump even way tighter than what it is.
You know what we saw in Butler, Pennsylvania wasn't about incompetence, maybe to a degree, but it was more about being compromised, in my opinion.
Yep.
There was people involved that let that happen, that turned a blind eye, and they blamed it on being incompetent. I think, look, John Carmen said many times on my show that they're testing the parameters. There was
Yep.
just a guy that got shot next to the White House not too long, a couple of weeks ago, if I remember correctly. This is getting real, and they're very desperate right now. They got to stop him at all costs. So,
Well, to that point, there's a guy named Doug Hagman. I don't know if you've ever had
I've
a
heard
chance.
of it. The Hagman Show.
The Hagman Show.
Yeah.
Okay. You would love to have him. He's a tremendous investigator. I've interviewed him several times. He went and did his own personal investigation of the Butler situation. He hired 6 investigators to help him. They interviewed 100 people. They went and looked at the phone records, and they found that everywhere that Thomas Crooks went, there was 5 other cell phones that followed him around to different locations. He went to the gun range 43 times with another person that person never signed his name, but was always there. Okay. There was no possible
Like
way.
he was being trained.
Yes. And Hagman's report, it just came out on the New York Post about 10 days ago. I mean, I'm telling you, he was being trained. He was being brainwashed. He was being set up. He was a brilliant kid. He was actually very intelligent. And who knows he was even a BlackRock commercial. He was in a BlackRock commercial.
Right.
Okay.
I saw that. Yeah.
So, but Hagman's report says you got to look at this. Who were these other 5 individuals that were grooming him, training him? And now the United States government has used one congressman, Coggins, I think is his name. He's out of Louisiana. He has brought forth the report in which he says, after a full report, he said, there's only one shooter. There's only one person responsible. It's Thomas Crooks. Okay. But Coggins was asked, have you seen Doug Hagman's report? He said, I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it, but we've come to a conclusion. Time out. Dude, There's no way. How did he get a ladder there? How did he get up there with a rifle and a scope? He was walking around an hour before Trump got there, right down the parade route. I mean, there's just no way you can say, I heard there's a report out there, but we're done. So I once again, we've got to, Trump it's
And how close
dangerous.
were we to having another JFK situation? I mean, like that was literally a hair on his head away
Right.
from between death and living, death alive. That's how. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't. That was divine to me.
Divine. Absolutely. President Trump's life was spared by the mighty hand of God and when he says that God spared his life to save America, that's the truth. He's not joking. He knows what he's talking about. I believe him on that. We've all seen it with our own eyes. And why would we think that there isn't more assassinating plots going on right now? There is. And
Yes, I'm just not a big look. Okay, my life is I've almost died twice, but that doesn't mean I want to keep pushing the envelope. I know I got 2 hall passes. God said, "All right,
yeah,
no kid,
don't be
I'm not
taking
doing
a
this."
chance on that third
Am I
one.
going to keep pushing the envelope?
No, you're not. No, and so Trump has to be careful too. I mean, he can't just say, "Look, I look, God's on my side. I'm just going to keep going." No, those are some serious warnings too, that the enemy is out there. So be careful where you go. Be sure you have alternative routes. There ought to be 2 and 3 body doubles. Use more planes. Use more limousines going in different directions. Do whatever you got to do, but we got to keep this guy safe. And because the enemy is in the camp, there's no question about that. And you talk about devastation. President Trump if he was to be assassinated, this nation would go into some kind of a chaos beyond.
Tailspin.
It really would.
I don't even know if we'd come out of it.
I don't either. That's
I
the
don't even
simple.
know if we'd come out of it. I mean, think about how bad that would be. I mean, it's so uncomfortable to talk about. I'll tell you this. I'm going to say that even my audience right now doesn't want to even think about it. They're probably putting things in the comments right
Yeah,
now.
right now they're screaming to get off the
Yeah, get off
subject.
this subject. Get off this. We don't even want to think about that. He's protected by God, but all
Yes.
that stuff. But
Yes.
I mean, look,
Amen.
I don't like to
Amen.
talk about it either, but you know, like going into any fight, you gotta weigh all options. You gotta know what they're capable of doing. And all I'm saying is just protect him more. Just don't put him out in public so much. He doesn't need to be going to UFC fights. He doesn't need to be, he's at least for these
Right.
next 4 or maybe even 8 years, just stay in the basement like Biden. You know,
We
we'll
don't. Yeah.
understand.
Well, come on. He wants to drive. He wants to ride the beast around Daytona 500. I mean, he's at the Super Bowl. Come on,
It's
Nino.
almost like
He's
he's
the
putting it in
man.
their face.
I know. I know. He's tempting fate in some ways, but he's a man that's he's like General Patton in a way. Just come riding out on a white horse in the front line and like charge. I mean, I kind of how he is. I don't know if we can ever contain that, and maybe we just can't. I don't know.
He
Just
does
keep praying
remind me
for him.
a lot of George Patton, General
Yeah,
Patton.
he's a lot like
I
General
watched that
Patton.
movie many times, and I will say that the characters resemble each other very much. I think they're grooming Baron Trump. I think we might see I think they're going to start a dynasty here. I think after Trump, I think Donald Trump, we could see Don Jr. maybe. I'd vote for Don
Junior.
Jr. just to keep it in the family.
I would.
I bet you we'd roll right into Baron.
Oh, it'd be beautiful. Let's just do it. I mean, Donnie Trump is at some times he's a little bit of a hothead, but on other sides, he can be very articulate. He's a lot like his dad in a lot of ways. It'd be beautiful to roll right into him, get 8 more years of him. And then Barron is obviously very intelligent and a whole lot more diplomatic. He's got a little bit of his mother in him
Yeah,
that makes
there's a
him a
lot of
little
his
bit
mother.
little smoother. He's a little smoother and it might work great. So, you won't have to do much. His dad's setting it up. Okay.
I think Barron's going
You
to
know,
be. I can picture Barron being an amazing president. I just a feeling I have,
yeah.
and he'll come across much differently than his father.
Yes. Yes. Smoother, more classier. And I'm not saying Trump's not classy.
Right.
He's ultimate class, first class in everything he does. But he doesn't care if he hurts your feelings or not. Byron might be a little Barron. He may be a little bit more astute to and a little more his approach is to convince you this is the
Right.
way. You
Right.
know,
Like his dad needed to kick open the door
yeah.
and come
Well,
in
we
with
needed
brute
that.
force.
America
Yeah.
needed that.
America needed that ass
And in
whooping.
some
Yeah.
ways, Elon Musk is kind of that way in a weird way, in a kind of a kooky way, but he is kind of that way. I do wonder about what all. Here's good news. He's only got about a year to do this, and then they're going to let him go back to work. Okay, at SpaceX, and they probably should, because there's only so much oxygen in that Oval Office, and I don't see how Trump and Elon Musk can breathe that much
Yeah.
air.
Two big egos.
That's way too big in there. So,
What's your thoughts on Elon?
well, he's first of all, I think he's one of the most brilliant men in the world. I mean, he has to be.
No doubt.
No doubt about that. Um, um, I think he's this polarizing as it gets.
Yeah.
I'm praying that he has no motives that would be detrimental to the human race. I think he has the capability to do anything,
Yeah.
including, when you start talking about the beast in the Bible and talking about or a digital program or a system, we talk about the mark of the beast sometimes. He's the kind of guy that's capable of bringing that type of system forward. Now, I don't think he has a diabolical thought in his heart to do that, but he has the capability to do that. I mean, here's a guy that has a boring company. So he's boring under the ground. He controls space. He helped make PayPal. He's a part of AI. I mean, literally he can shut off satellites in Ukraine in a war. He may be one of the most powerful people on the planet because he's got his hands in all these technologies. But I don't think he has an evil heart. I don't. I don't. I just think
Isn't it in prophecy, and you'll know this a lot better than I will, and I've heard this before. Isn't it in prophecy that the dragon, I mean, all his rockets are named dragons, and he
yeah.
off in the sky. Isn't the beast system, or isn't the dragon supposed to possess the person later? Isn't that something that happens later when he's in power? Now, I'm not at all, do I study the Bible like you do or anybody else, but from what I've heard, that is how it's supposed to
No,
happen.
you're right. The
Am I
dragon
right?
gives power. Yeah, the dragon gives power to the beast. I mean, the dragon gives power to the beast. Now, the dragon maybe in scripture does represent
But they could have a
Lucifer.
righteous heart in the beginning and then it turns.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is that how it's supposed to
Any
happen?
well, somebody's going to be the Antichrist, and I don't believe that any person born on the earth was born to be the Antichrist. I think that collectively, maybe there's about 50 people being groomed by some of these secret societies who are preparing someone for that role, but you just don't get born to be that.
Do you think it's going to be someone, or do you think it'll be a system? Do you think it'll be AI? Do you think that will be the Antichrist?
It's both.
Artificial
It's
intelligence.
it's it's a combination. There will be an individual, I believe, but there will be a system because the Bible talks about this Antichrist as the beast, but then it talks about the system as the beast. So really, you can't have one without the other. You have the Antichrist, and then he has his system that drives it. And they even make an image, according to Revelation. They make an image to the beast, and the image can speak. The image can make decisions. That's got to be AI. You
Yeah.
know, my whole life when I was studying the Bible, I'd say, how in the world are they going to build this statue that can talk and make decisions? Well, now I understand. It's an AI beast, if you will, and
You know how it's learning us
capable.
is through Alexa.
Yeah, Alexa's
That's it.
learning. Yeah, they're listening to everything we say.
Everything we say, it's learning, it's picking up everything. That's how it's learning.
Yes, yes. And it has the ability now to make decisions based on the information it's learning at
If you were
lightning
an
speed.
alien and you landed here on this planet, how would you learn people? Just like that, just through like
Yeah,
something like a technology like Alexa, and then you would start
yes,
learning. If you were dropped on another planet and had no idea how to get along with the people or socially interact, you would need a system like Alexa to learn everybody, to learn
yes,
the culture, to learn the collective consciousness.
yes,
I mean, it's
yes.
kind of
Well, that's what I'm saying when I say the technology to bring about the mark of the beast is here because it's how to AI is able to learn everything about everybody and everything. Matter of fact, you could do this. You could go on AI right now and just say, "Who is David Nino Rodriguez, and what is his views
really.
on any subject?"
I've
And
never
this,
asked that.
oh, you should
I'm like
try it.
scared to
And
do that now.
it'd kick it out in 18 seconds, and it'd tell you more about who you are and what you believe than what you know yourself, based on the information it's already gathering. Okay,
Really?
so yeah, it's here, and there's now I've interviewed a guy who's actually part of, when they were all in the White House, they were talking about AI, and Gary, the guy from Oracle was there, and Trump, Musk was there, and different people. Well, there was a guy I know who was there. Okay, he's one of the guys that works on the systems, and he said to me, "It's incredible what AI can do." And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" He goes, "Well, put it this way, you just get up and walk through your house right now. AI is already reading your blood sugar. It knows your blood pressure. It knows everything about you, including what you're thinking. It's not just what you say. This is why you'll get something will pop up in your phone. It don't even have to be something you talk about. Start thinking about something.
It's happened to me many times, and I'm
Five
like, there's just
five minutes, you're
no
going to get an
possible
ad.
way,
There's no possible
possible way.
way. They
Right.
can. They're reading our thoughts.
So if it's at that level, we're done.
We're, we're, we're there. And this is why in the Bible, when we start talking about the mark of the beast, it says, who can make war with the beast? Who's able to fight this thing? In other words, nobody. Okay. No human being can beat this beast in the system. This is why Christ returns. Christ comes and says, all right, that's enough. You're not going to manipulate these people anymore to this level.
Well, hold on, hold on. He's better. He's got to come back soon because
Yes,
the younger generations don't even have a fighting chance.
that's right.
Because if they're being born into this, they have no fighting chance.
No, they really don't. They can't beat it.
So when
And
does Christ? So Christ has to come back like yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, we're at the, we're certainly living in the era now where there's a couple things need to happen, but not many, just two or three moves, and Christ will have to come back because the prophecies of the Bible say that. It's part of the reason why I wrote my book, Revelation 9:11 was, hey, remember 9/11 how you felt out of control, vulnerable, the enemy's invading? Well, guess what? The enemy's here. And in according to Revelation chapter 9, verse 11, this 𝗵𝗂𝗍𝗂 comes out of a bottomless pit. He brings a band of demons with him, but it's all about manipulation of the human race to try to destroy us and to make us bow to Lucifer. That really is the plan. Through manipulation, through fear, through war, through disease, through brainwashing, through spiritual manipulation. So we can't beat this thing as human beings. We do need a divine leader to help us overcome, and he's coming.
So we are living in Revelations right now.
Absolutely, we're living in
I would
Revelations.
say that would have to be the case because everything is being exposed.
Absolutely. I mean, it's unbelievable. And when you start looking at you've heard the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Well, if you look at all four of them, they're galloping. Okay, right now, the horse of war, the horse of the economy manipulation, black horse, the horse of disease and plagues and pandemics. Okay, these are already loose on the earth, getting stronger and stronger. We don't know what the next pandemic is. It's coming. We don't know. We just know that ain't nobody sitting here saying, I don't think we're going to have any more. Are you crazy? We all know it's coming. We just don't know which way it's coming from or how severe it's going to be. We know the United Nations has the Agenda 2030, depopulation.
Yeah.
I was at a 𝗫𝗀𝗃 conference, not because I deserve to be there. My wife's a 𝗫𝗀𝗃, okay? That's top 2%
That's like
IQ.
a high IQs,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I get to go along, okay? So I buy the shirt says I'm a 𝗫𝗀𝗃. I'm with 𝗫𝗀𝗃. But
I think EQs are more important.
okay, there
You know,
was a
emotional, you know what?
I mean, they are incredible people, okay?
Uh,
Uh, so they were having this big conference down in Hollywood, Florida, and there was a presentation. The guy, it was called Depopulation of the Earth. I said, wow, that's up my alley. I'll go in here. So I sit in the back, and there's 150 people there, and the guy gets up and he says, let me just say something to you geniuses. We got 7 billion people on the earth. We got to get to 5 billion by 2030. We want to know if you guys can help us figure out how to do that without too much disruption on the planet.
mm.
And he floated it. And immediately they start talking and people are writing things. I'm like, whoa. There,
You witnessed this.
I witnessed this. I'm watching this. I'm realizing these are some of the most brilliant minds in America sitting here immediately going to work on this project. Now, that was in 2017. All right. 8 years later, here we are. We're closing in on 2030. Everything seems to be geared around that. But we got 8 billion people. So obviously they haven't kicked in whatever it is.
Well,
they're
I
gonna
think it's
kick
been
in.
dented a little bit with everything that's happened.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into it too much on fluff tube.
Right. I know we have to be careful. But
Yeah.
the bottom line is this: that thought process was actually floated to some of the geniuses of our society. So this isn't we're not talking about a conspiracy theory here. I'm telling you that agenda 2030 that they're working on at the UN is a real agenda. Now, how they pull it off, I don't know, or if they can pull it off, I don't know. But it is an
They've been
agenda.
saying the Earth has had 7, 8 billion people since I was a kid. There has to be more than that.
There should be by now,
He
right?
said there should be like at least 16. I mean,
And then
it
here's the
seemed like it
thing.
would double because ever since I was a little kid, they were saying that.
Well, who says we can't have a double? I mean, do you ever see how much of this planet nobody's on?
When I'm flying and I'm up in the plane, I'm like, wow, the world really does look overpopulated. Yeah, it's just nothing but barren land
Land everywhere.
everywhere. Yeah, it just
We could put 50 billion people on this planet and we'd still have enough resources for everything.
I
There's
agree.
so much oil, there's so much farmland. We have so much capability and technology. This is really a lie we're being fed right now that we can't have. The Bible says be fruitful, multiply. Okay, he didn't say, but when you
And
get to a
what's the
certain level,
problem, really? I mean, we're supposed to go and cultivate or populate Mars and the moon, right? I mean, if that's
right? If that's what you want to do, Well, why not populate the Earth? We got plenty of room. And
Yeah,
the
why are
reason,
we so worried about populating the moon and Mars? I mean, there's still enough space here.
did you ever fly over? If you ever fly over top of Alaska, you'll say there's nobody there.
Right?
It's, I mean,
It's
there's
like that in Texas, Paul. When I'm flying in Texas from like El Paso to Austin, there's nothing.
nobody there. Yeah, you got a lot of people in this city and a lot in that city, but look how much open space. There's tons of room. There's plenty of room in Montana. Oh my goodness. Are you serious? There's tons of room.
So, Revelation 9:11. I say we're living in Revelations. I know you agree with me on that. And there's a lot of things that are coming out just daily that I'm like, wow, like I'm having aha moments almost every day. One moment that I just had, like that I was, I've, man, this is, and I don't know if you've realized this as well. I'm sure a lot of my audience has. Just recently, the Statue of Liberty. I've always thought the Statue of Liberty is given to us by France. I never really believed. I just started looking at it and I was like, wait a minute, is that Lucifer? Is it Lucifer? Does it actually have a shackle around its leg? And I mean,
It does.
is it the light bearer? I mean, is that Lucifer?
Hey,
It looks
well,
like a man. It looks like it
it,
could
it
be
really
both.
does. It does. He could go either way. He is a light bearer. Um, you wonder why they sent that. I know they're
Right.
saying that welcome to free. Why would you send that? And we parked that thing right out front, and then it could be that we were being deceived. Almost like, okay, this is a Trojan horse. There's nobody inside going to come out, but it's a spiritual symbol. It's a huge spiritual symbol. And when you set an image up, you gotta be very careful about that. Okay. One of the things we were told, don't put any graven images up. In other words, don't worship something. And I don't know, is that Lucifer? He's the angel of light. The Bible says he's the great deceiver. Okay. So it's a good
That
question.
that it checks all the boxes.
Yeah, I know. I know it does. I know that's gonna freak some people
This
out.
just I've just been thinking about this the last few days because I've never really paid attention beforehand. But since I've been seeing it on X a bit, and I'm like, okay, let me go look at this.
I'm going to have to go do some serious researching now.
Go
That
look at that. I'm
I'm
telling
going
you.
to do it.
I'm like, could that, it checks all the boxes to me.
I know. I know. I'll do it. I'll do research on it. I'll be coming out with something.
Paul, where do people get your book?
Anywhere, everywhere books are sold, Amazon.com, certainly. They go to my website if they want an autograph copy. That'd be great. PaulBegleyProphecy.com. But Amazon, Books a Million, everywhere, Barnes and Noble. And it went number one 3 times. We're very proud of that. First book I've ever wrote and published. I've written some other ones, sub-published, but this one really did well. Working on a sequel to it. It's coming out hopefully this fall. And I would really appreciate it. If you get the book, I'll tell you, I guarantee you this, you won't lay it down. It's not one of these books you start reading, you're bored. You'll read this all the way through, and we're getting great reviews. We touch on everything, literally everything that you can think about, from the culture wars to the prophecies of the Bible to everything going on politically, geopolitically, everything you can think of. If you're a conservative in any way, or if you're just somebody who wants to know what's going on in this world and you don't want to be woke, but you want to be awake, this book will definitely stimulate your brain.
Well, man, I loved having you on, Paul. Where do people find you?
I'm on YouTube. That's my main channel, but I'm everywhere.
What do you talk about on YouTube mainly? Is it just
It's my
prophetic?
largest. It's my largest social platform. I mean, I'm on X and Facebook, but if you go to YouTube, just type in Paul Begley, boom, it'll pop up, and that's my largest platform. I've done a lot of television in the
I
past.
just remember hearing are you serious? Can you do
That's
it one
where you
time
heard
for
it.
my audience? Do it one time. Come on, Paul.
Are you serious? Are you serious, Nino? Okay.
How to
So,
do
yeah,
it.
that's it. That's where you'll find me. I'm on YouTube. You'll find me every day. Okay, every
Thank you,
day.
Paul. I really appreciate you coming on, and I'd love to have you on again as I don't know, as we kick off war with Iran.
If it happens, call my number. I'll be right here.
You got it, Paul. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Nino. It's an honor.